What it do? Feedback stream 70. Sup guys, I'm about to get down. Submit your tracks in my Discord. And we'll listen to them. Go over mixing, sound design, arrangement, flow. You let me know. First up is going to be Nest Jonat. Let's go ahead and check out the cover art. I'm going to check the chat here soon. We got Nest Jonat Synapse with Mango's Rhythm. Okay, let's go ahead and get it done. Welcome. What's up, Hermes? Hi, Angry User 00. Sick, dude. That's pretty good, man. There's a lot of sick sound design, cool different transitions between each phrase. You're like making the effect do more. It's just really cool. Pretty sick flow. Like those things are sick. Lots of good movement here. I think the only main thing here is that the sub is just pretty low intensity. Sub sounds fine. But when we hear it here, you can tell it's really quiet. And then if you try to compare it in the drop, it's pretty quiet too. So you could turn that sub up a little bit more. Really get that sub pumping. And in the club, it'll sound really good with the sub bigger. This is pretty nice, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool vocal that you're using. This is kind of empty, you know, pretty quiet. I would work on this intro, getting it a little bit more full in the frequency spectrum. But what you can do is like add more atmosphere and ambience in these sections, just to like add more space and make it feel like we're in a soundscape or something. Otherwise, the variations and the fake outs and the drop, it sounds pretty nice, dude. That's a fun time. We're at good loudness levels. I didn't check how wide. So this is an issue. So if we look at here, everything's in the middle, and then your clap is the only thing that's wide. Actually, no, that bass is wide. Okay, so we have differences between each bass. So check this out. Like this first bass. Nice and wide. We want that. But the clap's making it wider. So the bass really staying in between these lines and the clap gets wider. Check it here. That was really mono. So like basses like that, this one needs to be wide. The other ones are wide, but you're gonna want to use your metering tools and your imaging tools so that you can see exactly how full your stereo image is. It's gonna help a lot for some of those basses that need it, because some sections don't sound full. It kind of sounds a little empty, and you can easily fill it up like that. So that's nice to see. Very good job. Nicely done. Up next, we got VTalk. That was a broken link. Send that again if you can. Kilowatts is next with Steropis. Steropis? Who knows? Let's go. Check the chat. Nice. That was cool. Huge dynamic shifts, lots of heaviness, very loud, almost a little bit too loud. Remember, this isn't like tear out, it's just a heavy rhythm, so it doesn't really need to be past -3 at all. It really shouldn't even be around -3 unless it's like super clean, that loud. It's hard to turn it up maximum volume without it hurting your ears, so there's a lot of different harsh frequencies and weird frequencies appearing in the sides as well. So one main thing I'm hearing though is like it feels like the sub is on the sides. Let's see if I can do a check, because basically like any low frequencies on the sides starts to sound muddy and congested and not good. That's why we usually keep our sub always mono, and then you would like have an extra layer for your sub that's EQ cut, and then you can put that to the side like a Reese bass or something, so you could really have a clean mix. Because right now it feels unbalanced, and it seems like we're missing a lot in the middle, and it's like a huge open space, and it seems like everything is just pushed to the sides. It's sick flow and it's heavy, but it's very an awkward image. I'm going to check right now to see if that's what you're doing. If you're here watching, let me know. Real J Hernandez, damn. Yeah, that was damn. That shit was heavy. All right, so we're going to low pass to only let the sub play. Gotta do this check. Nice, we're good. Okay, that's important. So that means we're perceiving the sub and we're actually hearing these frequencies instead. So like even Ableton does it. See this big chunk on the back? These are the main frequencies, and this maybe this little chunk too. So these are like the mids, and you can see these start to get really wide. So that's good, really good news. So our sub is nicely placed, that's awesome, but when we listen to it, we gotta EQ the basses that are on the sides more and put some more things in the middle and really try to fill up that. Then after you do that, it sounds almost like there's not enough high frequency, so you're gonna wanna group them all up, add a high shelf with the EQ8 so that we can turn up all the highs and make it sound, you know, like it has more clarity and it's clear. When you hear the growl, that sounds loud and clear, but when we get to the lead, then it sounds almost like it's like almost contained in a filter and the highs are trying to break free, but they can't. It's obvious too when you hear the brass. The brass are super loud and clear. And then it just starts to get like low mid grunge, which sounds and feels awesome, but we also need to fill the rest of the spectrum. So you just use the EQ8 to turn up those highs rather than just adding a new layer. That's fire though. I like this a lot. And your intro and stuff, these huge dynamic shifts feel really nice. Very cinematic. You did well with this. This section is pretty low energy, so that main synth lead should speed up, maybe a fast ARP in the background, but this should feel more EDM-y and higher speed energy. Because remember, right now this is so slow that we're dancing in halftime. We can't dance 140, so we need to speed it up with like hats or something in the background to make it go feel faster. Yeah, that's about it. Good job, Kilowatts. Killing the game as usual. Up next, we got Hobo, naturally. Bang, bang. Let's run it. Okay, that's right. Let's go.
I said, hola, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Hola, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Hola, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Hola, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Hola, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Fuck chill, fuck a bill, man. CT, 50 racks on the bed. Got my G's, chillin'. Fuck them like a dizzy. I came from the
right, cool. Nice. So I like that you have an idea here, right? You have a nice vocal leading it. We have a nice BPM switch, different types of energy. This is pretty cool. I don't really usually recommend BPM switches in our songs right away until we're like when we're touring as our own musician, like we have our own tour where we're just playing our own music and we know exactly when these BPM switches are happening. We're not really worried about DJing. It's a lot easier to use these songs with 2 different BPMs. But while you're starting, we really want people to, be playing your track out as much as possible. And they want to be downloading it and sharing it and playing it at festivals. And then you get bigger. But if your song has 2 BPMs in it and they put it in Record Box to try to, get your beat grid set up and analyze it, it becomes a lot more difficult. And some DJs might just not use the song, or they'll have to, be smart enough to know that there's 2 different BPMs and transition accordingly. So there's a lot of different things that happen, and it's much easier to just make things easy and stick to 1 BPM. But obviously, you can do that a lot. Like there's the Subtronics Black Ice with Rez. But obviously, they know what's up. So just be aware, be careful whenever these BPM switches are happening within a track. A lot of side effects. Otherwise, there is very low energy in the song. It's not, there's not a lot of danceable sections here because there's not a lot of things talking to each other. There's not a lot of movement. It's just a lot of things repeating over and over again, which becomes repetitive, and the energy decreases over time because of that. Also, one huge thing is the vocal is the lead. Like I was saying earlier, it's one of the main things. Almost the spotlight is on the vocal because it's the loudest as well. But the vocal is panned to the right, and we're missing this whole huge chunk of space where there should be, frequencies playing, which is mono and to the left side. Only keeping the vocal on the right is very abnormal. And in audio engineering school, when they taught us how to record vocals and everything about vocals, basically one of the main rules is the vocal is always mono. And then we add additional layers that would be wide or panned to the left or right. And you can do multiple tricks, right? You'll have like multiple layers of vocals, but we have to make sure that it's full, especially in EDM. And during an important section like the drop, we can't just have the vocal pan to the left because there needs to be a full stereo image. The main bass lead too sounds like it's in the background. And since this is, dance music and dubstep or hybrid or whatever you want to call it, we need to make sure that the main bass has the spotlight on it as well. So add more compression and saturation to your main bass lead, which is this one. Right now it sounds small, a little bit weak, and hidden in the mix. So you want to pull out those frequencies using compression and add more harmonics and make it louder with saturation. Fun time, easy time, good time. When we get here, you start repeating the vocals, so it becomes a lot more repetitive. And you add a new bass, so it becomes becomes very muddy, honestly. It sounds like static is almost playing. It's real important that you use a lot of EQ and carve out your frequency so that everything can blend together. Right now, a lot of things are competing for space. It's getting congested. It's just not a good time. It's like a little traffic jam up in there. The overall mix is really quiet too. It's -10 LUFS. So if you were to DJ this song next to any other song, it would sound very quiet, super low energy. That's a big problem. It's really important you start mixing on the go and start adding compression and saturation everywhere you go. Start grouping things and adding more compression and saturation on those groups. Add limiters, clippers, different things like that to mix the song as you go. And lastly, just call and response. So like when we do the BPM switch, the call and response that we do in drum and bass has to be different than like dubstep call and response. If you listen to drum and bass songs, they like almost extend the call and response out and make it feel longer because the drums are going so fast. And drum and bass, they'll use both timings at the same time, literally half time and full time, and mix them together to get this super amazing ethereal feel. So start referencing drum and bass, see how they add movement using call and response here, because right now this call and response flow,
Glizzy bang 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 bang
you go boop,
bang bang
and then you get into that,
bang 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 bang.
you go boom, boom. So that's just happening too fast. It gets super repetitive over time, and we don't have a fill. It's just a call response. It should be call response fill, so that we can really add more movement and get things sounding less repetitive, which is really important. We don't want to be able to predict what's going to happen next. We want to be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Good idea, though. I like that vocal. Bang, bang. Very sick. Let me know if you have any questions on any of that. Hit me up, Instagram or Discord. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Up next, we have Eek Beats coming in with Rachel version 1. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, where is it, actually? What's it called? Rachel? Did you? Okay, cool. Rachel, where you at, girl? Where you at, girl? Where you at, Rachel, girl, now? I just lost you, girl. I'm about to play you after bang, bang now. Alright, right now. Run it, Rachel version 1. Oh!
My sister Zelda.
I know, she died. Spinal meningitis.
She was in the back bedroom with a dirty secret. My sister died in the back bedroom, and that's what she was. A dirty secret. I had to beat her sometimes. I hated it. But I did it. We wanted her to die. We wished for her to be dead. It wasn't just so she wouldn't feel any more pain. It was so we wouldn't feel any more pain. It was because she started to look like this monster. Even now, I wake up and I think, is Zelda dead yet? She started to convulse, and I thought, oh my God, she's choking. Zelda's choking. And they'll come home and they'll say, I murdered her by choking. They'll say, you hated her, Rachel, and that was true. And they'll say, you wanted her to be dead, and that was true too. And then she died. She died. She died.
Twist your back like mine, so you never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again.
Damn, okay. Gotta be honest. That was kind of a hard listen. There's lots of weird things going on, and that vocal is just not like musical, you know, at all. It's hard to explain. All right, so let's get into this. First off, the lead in the intro
My sister Zelda.
starts right away, and it's very repetitive. It plays the same exact thing over and over throughout the song, and it gets real old real fast, and we have to make sure that you can make like a cool 8-bar loop, but maybe halfway through the 8-bar loop, we have to add different variation and make it walk new steps, change the notes and go into new tones. We're essentially creating a journey, right? Using these notes and feelings. And if you just keep repeating the same journey over and over and over and over again, it becomes, you become mad, literally. It's not something you want to do unless you have supporting elements behind it that we can focus on. So like sometimes in like house music, they'll repeat things over and over and over again, but they have such a strong bass line just running that shit. So, you know, the focus starts to get off. But because the synth is so high pitched,
My sister Zelda.
it's very loud in intensity, and we perceive high frequencies as louder. So this comes pretty harsh.
In the back bedroom.
And
She's in the back bedroom.
and you have to understand here that there's no rhythm or groove here that we can dance to.
My sister Zelda.
I know she died. Spinal meningitis.
First off, the main reason why this has low energy and it's feeling weird is because most of it is in half time. So if you made this at 140, there's nothing in here that's lets us dance to 140. We're dancing in half the speed, which is 70. So 140 would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm head bobbing this fast. But 70 is half it. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is like headbang, right? We're headbanging at 1, 2, 3, 4, but we can't headbang at 70. That's like chilling, just in the, you know, and sometimes you can have some sections in your song, which are halftime, but then we speed it back up to regular speed. And the majority of your song should be in the regular time that you're producing at. And then you can kind of sprinkle in the halftime sections, which makes it sick. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, man. Sith dubs. Thank you, dog. So all right, where are we at here? Okay. So since we're dancing at half the speed, energy's low, right? Right off the rip.
My sister Zelda.
I know she died. Spinal meningitis.
There's no sub bass either, so it's just mids and highs. And like imagine, you're playing this at the club, there's 10 subwoofers lined up, ready for you to blast them, right? They're ready for you. But you don't even use them for how long?
Sometimes I hate her so she wouldn't feel any more pain. Even now.
We start adding a little bit of sub here, but it's very low volume, very low intensity.
Sometimes I hated it. Either sometimes I hated it. Died in.
Yeah, so this sub that you're using here is just very minimal. It's like an 808, like small 808. So you want to get a nice fat sub, or you can use your 808 and just start adding lots of post-processing to it to make it big and fat. Saturation, compression.
My sister Zelda.
I know.
Like a dirty secret.
Cool. And then instead of the slow drum and bass movement, we need to speed up the energy, add some fast hi-hats like to maybe play with this. You can easily speed up the energy. Or you can add like a fast bass line, like boom, 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 boom. Something like that. There's multiple options.
I had to.
But it being this long is kind of crazy. We need to restructure. Right now, it's like the main idea is just this narration vocal.
Balls.
Even in the drop, we're playing it a lot.
To go balls. And I thought.
So there's no like musical quality here. It's just like someone randomly speaking like open spoken word on top of our musical rhythmic track. If she's going to be speaking, it should be on time and speaking with the flow, or we should be chopping up her vocals to go with what you're playing. Otherwise, the music becomes just like background music, and then it's just like someone narrating on top, which is not musical. That won't make us like dance.
She started to.
So halftime flow.
She
Just like fast
started
food dance.
to go balls.
And the main bass lead is very small and weak. Needs to be layered more, needs to be bigger, have more space.
She started to.
Sub also needs to be a lot bigger too.
I thought, oh my gosh.
When we start adding the synth back here,
And they'll say you won't.
it's not a good time. It was already repetitive over here. So this isn't adding any energy.
And that was true. And they'll say
Starting to actually get like congested and almost like there's too much things playing.
you hated it, Rachel. And that was
But the main thing is that vocal. The vocal is just taking us off time and off rhythm easily. So the synth leads and everything playing around it just doesn't have its space to breathe. So, yeah. Oh, my Lord have mercy. Well, thank you very much for that. Follow. Who's that, Sensei Official? Thank you, my guy. So, yeah, it's a done deal. Basically, like I said, this was a kind of hard listen because there's a lot of harshness going on with the synth lead. Very low energy because things are just repeating over and over. These are the things you got to look into. You know, making music isn't the easiest thing always. And I remember when I first started this, I would always accidentally make my stupid songs in halftime, and I would try so hard to freaking speed them up into regular time. And it took me a while to like get good at it. But remember, like fast synths, fast arpeggiated synths, plucked synths that are tight so you can make them go fast, fast hi-hats, fast shaker loops. All these things will help speed things up. Electronic dance music, we gotta get to dancing. We gotta be fast. It's a done deal. Rachel V1 by Eek Beats. Thank you very much. Very nice. Okay. Up next, we got Forever Labyrinth. Okay. Very nice. Wait, let me double check here. Okay, perfect. Let's run it. Whoa! Who is this? Unseen? Forever?
What do you want to be when you leave this earth?
Damn. That was nice. Oh, that's pretty intense, honestly. You got me loused in the sauce for a couple sections there. There's a lot of really amazing, dynamic, wavy movements that feels insane. Most of this sounds like really good, like tuned wise. It all sounds like everything's in harmony going together. Some sections are so quiet though, like -30 LUFS, and I think peak. Let's see what we hit here. So we're peaking about -14. So it's really quiet. Now, I understand if you want to send this to a mixing engineer, mastering engineer, or whatever, or it hasn't been mixed or mastered, but you got to understand too that mixing and mastering is just, compression, EQ, panning, stereo image stuff. Basically, all the thing I'm always talking about is what we do in mixing and mastering, all this audio engineering stuff. So you can easily turn your stuff up and get it clean. Right now it's really quiet, so it's very hard to use this for anything. It's very hard to upload this to streaming services because most streaming services will try to turn it up and use their own compression to turn it up to get to their normal levels. And we just don't want that to happen. We want to have full control of how loud it gets, and we don't want their shitty loudness algorithms affecting our song. So we got to reach at least a minimum volume. Remember, -15 LUFS is actually how loud voices are in podcasts when we listen to them. That's how loud they boost them up to, like -15. But our songs should for sure be louder than those voices on a podcast. So you want to hit -10 LUFS at least, preferably -8 for this type of song. You want to be real close or in those single digits. That's going to be important. And you'll see once you start to get things loud, it starts to distort and sound bad and not sound clean. And that's normal. But that's how you get good. You have to adapt to making things clean when they sound loud. Obviously, when things are at -3 LUFS or -5 LUFS, like when we make our heavy dubstep, it gets way harder to make things clean while being loud. So there's levels to this shit, but you need to definitely learn that stuff fast because if we listen to your song, we have to turn it up super loud on our sound system, right? Our boom box. But then the next song plays and it's super loud and high blast because it's normal volume. That's going to be an issue. You don't want the listener to have to turn up their volume every time they listen to your song. It should just be on shuffle and ready to go. Imagine someone's running and then it shuffles to your song and it's super quiet and they just don't have time to turn it up. They don't have that ability for some reason and they skip the song. We don't want them skipping our song. That's our good song, man. So yeah, those are some things that come into play. This section is your best sounding section because there's focus. It's balanced. But in these other sections, a lot of different fast movements are going on. Nothing's really in the background. Everything's kind of up front together. So it becomes congested. The main thing is the things on the side. Those things are moving so much on the side and you almost want to focus on that, but then so much is happening in the middle. And it's you're just going all over the place. So that is an issue. We need to have a spotlight on something that's the main thing. And then you can use EQ and volume and reverb to put things in the background behind your main stuff. And sections like this, which is vocals, it's pretty uneventful, and they're very low volume. So you should have chords, something melodic to support it and back it up and add even more emotion and more movement. Yeah, because a lot of these intros just sound pretty empty. And then, yeah, the sub, the vocals are so much louder than everything else here. So just try to mix that. Get your sub louder, get your drums loud to match and balance with the vocals. Otherwise, that's a done deal. Thank you very much, Forever Labyrinth Unseen Remix. Next, WIP with Exec WIP. Interesting. Run it. Oop, just happened. Tomahawk. I just bought a steak. What you know about that tomahawk up on my plate? Wait, I just want a blind date. I told that girl to get out of my spit flows like I don't know. My name is Flojo. Let's go.
Niggas wanna cheat.
Okay, this is pretty decent. Pretty nice sound design going on here. We had a great buildup of tension and energy in this buildup. It was awesome. When the drop hit, I was like really expecting there to be a lot of energy, and unfortunately there wasn't. It was crazy because you built such great tension and energy that it felt so dirty when it hit, but then energy just like significantly lowers as soon as we start listening. And then by the time we get here, it's just like almost non-existent. So we got to figure out what the hell just happened there. Okay, so this is a nice little call, and we kind of get thrown into the response. Is this like out of key or something? We got to make sure these are in key with the vocal, because I think there might be some dissonance going on, like from the flow. Because remember, we're transitioning from these vocals to this. So the key and the scale and the tones and the pitches matter a lot right now. So if the vocal is like in fucking D minor, for example, then we can easily make our bass and our sub the D note, and everything's in perfect harmony, and we'll transition in a magical way. But if it's not, then it'll transition in a more abrupt way. And because it seems like we have everything, like we did nice flow tricks here, but we do this abrupt stop and silence. So you're kind of like, we build up so much tension and energy, and then we're kind of like adding this extra break when it just happens too fast in the drop. So this could definitely be happening later on in the drop, like here. But we need like full force, full energy. Like head banging to this is pretty difficult. Oh, there's no hats. There's no rides. Oh my gosh, yeah. So it sounds very empty. There needs to be a quarter note ride on every open hat. You can do open hat or ride, you know? But like, you know, stuff like this. This is going to fill the highs, add a lot more energy. We need those running ASAP. I hear your hats. They're so tiny. It almost sounds like a closed hat in the background. So they're just like being overtaken by everything else in the mix, which is an issue. Got to get those up. And then halfway through, you got to switch it up significantly. The little speed up here just isn't enough. And there's not really any call and response happening again. Remember, we started with this call here. I Actually, no, that's good. That's good counter response right there. But just in this section, you should do more than just switch up the speed, but now switch up like the tone, maybe automate the wavetable or the wavetable position so it gets like higher or lower pitch, just so that it's like moving and kind of like breathing and changing as time progresses. Yeah, you kind of go down in pitch. It's just not enough. Okay, cool. Sub is nice and big, but the basses sound just like small, weak. You're gonna want to do more layering for sure on this and group them up, add compression and saturation, and really get those things pumping through. Because like this sound right here sounds louder than your main sounds. Right. So this sounds this exact same as the dun dun dun. But there's another sound layered with the dun dun dun. It's like a white. And that should be beefier and bigger. That's the main one I'm talking about. Because that one's doing the quarter note, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So start layering, get that beef, add some low mid grunge up in there. I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Nice intro. Alrighty, very nice, very nice. That was Corvex with, I said whelp earlier, my bad. This is Corvex with the exec whip. Kitty cat. Next we got Lazy with the drum and sax, maybe bass. Oh, how is this eyeball playing that saxophone like that? How do you do that? How do you do that really? All right, I need to check the chat. I'm sorry, I've been slacking on the chat. AC, song to transcend. Yes, it says bad internet connection. SoundCloud won't let me upload. It says bad internet connection. Hi, Dripment. Is it too late to submit a track? No, dude. I always close the submissions. I was about to close. So yeah, I was about to close here soon. Here, I'll give you literally 2 minutes to upload a track if you want, but then I'm closing it in 2 minutes. So it's just about to. So upload track if you can right now. Everything with the drums to make them hit harder. Sup Fred, sup Jika. Alright guys, just double checking the chitty chats on the chit chats. Lazy's up next, drum and sax. Run it. Hey. Alright, this is creative. This is good. You putting your live instruments in your song is fucking like some overpowered shit, you know what I'm saying? But when doing live instrumentation, things become a little dicey. And you have to make sure you tune your instruments. So, what do I mean? Well, you simply get a tuner, and let's say you get like a piano, right? A grand piano. This is one instrument you can tune, and they all tune differently. Like the guitar, you know, at the top of the guitar, you got your little tuning strings. That's where you tune a guitar. It's always different. But when you play a note, specifically if you play note A, That's usually the note you would use to tune your instrument. And see this dot? It's perfectly in the middle. It's perfectly tuned to this note. You can go minus 50 or plus 50. Oh, we can't hear it right now. Now, eventually, the way you tune it is you get your reference 440. This is what we're tuned to. Every instrument and every synthesizer is tuned to this hertz. 440. The devil's fucking shit the government makes us use, you know? There's the shit that I'm gonna wake up everyone about, because remember, real music that doesn't keep you stressed or tense is in 444, which is 528 hertz. So see how we're out of tune? It's not on circle. Or 432. Now we're out of tune because our grand piano is tuned to play the shitty tune 440. So that's what's registering here. But if we were in the good, soothing melodic structures, different tuning systems, you would be at 432 and it would line up here accordingly. That's all really advanced stuff. Don't worry about any of that, because right now we're just all DJs and we're all just mixing music together and we're transitioning. And basically our songs are having sex, putting them together, transitioning them, and making babies. So we got to stay in 440, basically, unfortunately. But when you get to a master level and you become an elitist, you can start changing your tuning system, and no one else will be able to DJ their songs with you because you're on your own frequency spectrum. You become a freaking Jimi Hendrix or a Prince or a Michael Jackson. And go hard. But until then, we're just DJing this regular shit. So 440, get it in the circle. You play your saxophone. You got to make sure you tune it. Get it in the circle. Make sure your A is actually A. That's all it is. Then you can play every note and it'll be tuned properly. But most importantly, they'll transition with the other instruments in your song. Because right now, if you were to just play the sax by itself, it would sound fine. Right? You wouldn't even know it's out of tune because technically it's not out of tune. The reason it's out of tune is because you're playing other stuff with it. Now, these two things are trying to blend together. That's what is making it out of tune. So you're like dun, 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 dun in the background. So there's synth stuff, there's other stuff in the background, atmospheres. They're all tuned. And we got to make sure the sax is now playing its notes properly. So make sure you do that. And then in the drop, this is pretty cool. I like how you sped it up, add little fills. It's real nice. All right, so there's like no movement in this. Even though you can like see obvious movements, there's like a background atmosphere that's just layered on top of everything. And it's making all these little movements here sound like a straight line. So when we fade out like this, we can't feel the fade out because there's an atmosphere playing full blast. And those things create big issues. Controlling the dynamics of those things is real important, and you don't want all this extra space to be overpowering everything. And definitely we need some type of flow and structure for call and response. So start referencing a drum and bass song and try to see how they extend it out and make it longer. And when we're repeating stuff, we want to be automating things so that they sound different each time. Drum and bass, there's a lot of movement that happens slowly through time with a lot of different automation and filters opening up and closing. So we have to be able to feel and hear that at minimum. And remember, the drop just started, so don't break from the rhythm so quickly. Like, we're trying to dance. If we go completely silent too fast, that's just not going to work. That's like 2 bars of time here, I think. That's 1 bar of time. Cool. And then, doesn't sound like there's much sub. Or any sub. So it just sounds very empty. Frequency spectrum wise, you got to make sure there's a nice sub. You should actually have the sub play in harmony with the It would sound so sick if there was a sub going fast with that fast bass. Like that one right there. Big sub. That's what drum and bass is, man. You got to have the sub go with the other stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, reverb and delay in your saxophone. Super dry, low volume. You gotta compress it, saturate it, add reverb, a delay. Add a big old tail to that saxophone and make it sound like it's an atmospheric, galactical adventure on ice. Very nice. Up next, oh, good job, Lazy. Drum and sax. Up next is Just a Dream by 3, 2, 1, boom. Opedic. Let's get it done. Oh, check out the cover art. That's most beautiful. Let's get it done.
Have you ever had a dream? You could do anything. Have you ever had a Have you ever had
Nice. That's fairly decent right here, man. I mean, Just a Dream. Okay, good vocal. Nice dark energy. Nice cool calm response. This is pretty gangster, but unfortunately, it sounds so muddy. And it's like these low mid frequencies are building up at a pace that we just can't comprehend. Like, we need clarity, right? We're making heavy bass music, but we need to hear the heaviness in clarity. It needs to be like the clearest heaviness we've ever heard in our life. So the reason why it's not clear is because there's a lot of mud, which are these frequencies. Let me show you. Happening on the sides. So all the mud is not even in the middle. It's like spread to the sides. So now it's like sides and the middle have all these muddy frequencies building up, and we can barely stack these frequencies. So it's like from 100 to about 280, about 300. Yeah. About 100 to 300 is what I call the danger zone. This is a zone of unrelentless torture, horror, and mud explosions. What do I mean by mud explosions? Well, remember, the sub, we can't layer 2 subs at the same time, simply and unconditionally. But then we kind of follow the same rule from 100 hertz to 300 hertz. We can layer, definitely, but we have to be very careful because if it's very sensitive here. If we layer too much, it becomes muddy. It sounds bad. And we're only thinking about what's in the middle right now. We have to think about the side too. Usually you don't put your sub on the side, right? It stays in the middle. Same thing with these frequencies, 100 to 300. They should usually be in the middle and they should be cleaned up. And if they're ever on the sides, they for sure need to be cleaned up so that the stereo image isn't congested and we can hear everything. So this is the area in question. Sub is nice.
Have you ever?
Sounds nice and heavy. Lasers are sick. Great variations. I love the melodic call synth. These spaces coming in this late is perfect timing for those. Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, like I'm saying, this is a pretty decent track right here, man. Just clean up that mud on the sides. Use a stereo imager that's free, ozone imager, and figure out what individual tracks have those 100 to 300 hertz playing at the loudest volume, at the loudest intensity. And then we duck those, we carve those out. You don't have to cut completely, but you can turn it down on the EQ, or you can just slightly cut ever so. Find a nice balance with each one. Okay. Nice job. Up next, Spit Ya Blood. Okay, I like that. By Illusions. Skull. Yeah. Rock and roll. I just bought a Harley Davidson. I bought a guitar from Guitars. I'm done.
To your eyes.
gonna spit your blood. Spit your blood. You gonna spit that blood. Spit your blood. Oh. You gonna be. All right. Spit Your Blood by Mr. Illusions. Very cool. You know, I like me some guitars. I love that. I was feeling, kind of in the zone when the guitars were playing, but when the drop came, things took a turn in the direction that we do not want to be. And I call that the direction of low energies. We lost so much of the flow and so much of the energy because we are repeating the guitar riff. First of all, that guitar riff is playing the same thing over and over and over. So it's repetitive. It gets annoying over time. It gets predictable. It's too much. So the energy, instead of increasing, starts decreasing over time. So we got to be careful. But the most important thing is we play this repeating riff during the drop, where this is a special phrase. This is a special section of the song, the climax, where things get different and energy intensifies. But we don't do that because we're playing the same intro guitar with the drop. And on top of that, the intro guitar has a lot of low frequencies and mid frequencies. And all of those heavy guitar frequencies are competing with the bass. So the bass is trying to shine and do his thing. But then the big old guitar is like, fuck you, basses, I'm playing this shit. Fuck you. And unfortunately, they just play the whole time in all drops. And you have made some sick, different fake outs and cool third drop sections with nice new sound design and basses. But the damn guitar is taking up all the space, and it's almost bullying your basses around and making sure that they don't get any fucking time to play. This is like a band, and the goddamn guitarist is the biggest ego known to man. And he says, fuck you, basses. You guys are new, modern shit. You ain't playing. It's old school only. It's rock and roll. At the beginning, we have some, it sounds like analog, like recorded drums, and they sound really nice. The kick, the snare, the hats. This is all really nice. It sounds good, but they're so very low volume compared to the guitar and compared to the digital kick that comes and hits here. This kick, your drum should be as loud and match the loudness and intensity of this kick when it transitions to the kick. If that makes sense. That kick shouldn't change in volume. It's loud and good, but now these drums need to get as loud as that digital kick that hits here. That is about it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of mud adventures. We got to be really careful. Like I said in the last track, we can't stack 100 to 300 hertz. So you have to use a lot of EQ and carve or cut frequencies out. Remember, the guitar is competing frequency-wise with everything else. And then when multiple basses are playing the same frequencies, you gotta just use your EQ. Have one have the spotlight, the others can be in the background using EQ. And also, we're -7 LUFS, but it sounds a lot louder than that. So that means there's a lot of harsh frequencies that are playing. So study the Fletcher-Munson curve just to see how our ears perceive different frequencies at different volumes, so that you know which frequencies to turn down and how to mix and adjust with all these harsh frequencies. But yeah, spit your blood, you know what I'm saying? Good job. I like the guitar, I like the heavy energy, that's what we need. And your intro and the build-ups to the intro sounded really nice. Good tension was built, so we like. Up next, we got Espin Carnage. The arrangement's kind of weird because it was made for a beat battle. Where is it? Carnage right here. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna go to the restroom quick. I'll be right back. You know what it is. And we're back. Up next in line, we have Carnage. Private Homie Feedback V2. Run that shit, man.
Well, yeah, that was wicked. That was wicked. You definitely got to fucking battle Eastman ASAP.
Yeah, I can't wait
E-spin.
to hear that.
That's how you say it.
See, that's when it starts getting fucking spooky.
E-spin.
Hello, Blastback. I know you've heard the story. You know who I am. Let me welcome you to my world, my music, my experience. I'm having a blast.
Bro blasted my back out?
What? The fuck? Damn, that was a lot going on in that motherfucking song. What is this? A song? Sounds like a mix almost. Someone just financed that Ford F-150. Congratulate them in the chat. Thanks, Dripment Mango Rhythm. Good job, Nesjanet. Can't get into Discord to submit song. Yeah, it's in the description. Let me know if you need me to put it in the Twitch description. I got you. All right, cool. Geometry Dash music. All right, it's a it's a battle beat directed as a specific person. A battle beat. So, dude, are we doing rap battles but EDM style now? Are we doing fucking EDM rap battles? Ciphers? What is going on? Thank you for the follow. Who just followed? Thank you so much for that follow. What is okay? Who just okay? El Kai, you are a champion with many great future endeavors. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Nice, E-Spin. I see you. I see you. That was pretty cool. It's like you guys are fighting, you know, fighting to death with frequencies. It's a fun time. I love doing my beat battles. I do my beat battles on Friday too. We battle with frequencies, but with a selected sample. We don't usually, but thinking of it like adding vocals in and kind of like talking shit to them while doing the frequencies sounds fun. It's like a new version. And then like record it on YouTube. Imagine if like instead of the rap beat battles, we pulled up with our computers and in 1 hour we started recording vocals and like talking trash to the opponent and like trying to diss them and using our frequencies. Dude, what the fuck? And my genre of domination is dubstep. Good shit, dude. Cool. All right. So some sections are freaking off the chain. Like this crazy, there's some crazy flow in here. Unfortunately though, there's a lot of like harsh muddiness. It's too loud in some sections and it's hard to listen to in like this one. Like that's just unreasonably congested. There's so much low frequencies happening on the side and everything's just blasted straight line. No dynamics. There's not much feeling that we can get from this except just straight noise being blasted at you. And that's not always the best thing. Remember, this is all controlled noise, controlled terror and horror. So we have to be careful sometimes, but the flow, just the way, like it's just gangster and just feels heavy. And I think if this got less volume and less intense to match with the next section, it'd be better. It's also unbalanced too. Like it seems like there's empty open spaces in the mix that can still be filled with frequencies in the stereo image and in the frequency spectrum. So you really want to make sure everything sounds full. And making something loud as hell does not mean it's full. Full means you have lows playing, mids playing, and highs playing at a decent, good volume, and they're all EQ'd to blend together to make something that sounds like one patch that's loud, full, clear, and we don't have mud and we don't have harshness. That's really the goals whenever we're trying to EQ and get things to sound. Because all these sick flows, I mean, we can't really listen to sick flows. Like if I found this song, and even though I liked and enjoyed the rhythms and flows that I heard here, I wouldn't be able to keep replaying it because of literally how much it's damaging my ears. It's very loud. Let's go ahead and check this. So see how we're not even hitting -3, but still it sounds loud. That means harsh frequencies could be playing at louder levels that are tricking us. So once again, Fletcher Munson curve, learn how our ears perceive frequencies at different volume levels so that when you're sound designing and creating these harsh frequencies, you know how to tame them and make sure that they are your bitch and you fucking control those motherfuckers until to break it down, because you don't want any frequencies taking control of your castle and breaking down the whole door. We want them to be tamed, controlled, and in balance with everything else. In like easy ways, like when we go from this and we transition to this, it is just, by the way, this trap thing is so sick. It would go so hard in the club. That shit hard. That shit sounded so sick. But then we transitioned to this and got so dang loud and then it hurts. But the way, like the flow of it, like how it's going the same rhythm and then we transition, that's just like a sick idea, man. Sick ideas, sick flows, but they're being overshadowed by a lot of mixing errors and a lot of empty space in the stereo image. So things like that, we want to double check and, you know, make sure you're all good to go. Otherwise though, very nice, very creative, very fun. If you're making this quickly in beat battles, that's even more impressive. So good job, Mr. Man. Good job. E-Spin coming in hot. Nextly is Backbone. This is the Rage Flip. Let's get it done. Oh, shit. My bad.
Uh-oh.
on who? Said you let it ring, but it never goes through. My mind's fucked, my head's gone too. Smokes with a man and but the joke's on you. Who's on what? Don't tell my brothers close with the whole block. Bang, everything you got. Tell them the pussies that can take the whole lot. You ain't got no back. Shut up! Yeah, shut. I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's and K's and O's. They're a little relentless, so I'm letting niggas know. Used to give them high fives, don't stress a middle finger. Diamonds in my feet, both in a linger. They think I'm a rapper, I think I'm a singer. Catch me in the car, I treat the tourists like a dinger. You something fried, I'm a South boy, I'm from South. Give me something then, give me something if you're bad. My mother calls me mad, but I think I'm like the lad. Tell us what you're working with, the tell us what you had. I need to stop my sentences, sorry may I add. You ain't got no back. Shut up!
Sorry. Gotta had to make my own one right there. You left me hanging. Alright, man, we got a rage flip of backbone. There's some pretty high energy in this, I gotta say. The vocal is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. It's doing a lot to the song.
You ain't got no back. Shut up!
Ew.
Yeah, shut. I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's and K's and O's. They're a little relentless, so I'm letting niggas know. Used to give them high.
Cool. So this sounds pretty nice. Good flow. The vocals keep it moving. We have nice call and response happening. It's pretty dope. We don't have fills though. Like we don't never take a break from this loudness to go into silence. If we did, and then you go back to the loudness, it becomes more impactful and you can keep the energy progressing even more over time. I recommend looking into adding some fills at the end of your phrases for sure.
Shut up! Yeah, shut.
Now our main bass, this one.
Yeah.
And then it follows by this second bass, the offbeat bass. So downbeat bass,
Yeah.
offbeat bass. Listen to how much high frequencies are in this offbeat bass. Because of that, it sounds a lot louder. It's more powerful because of the high frequencies. This one,
Yeah.
it's more low mid grunge. So the frequencies are not as intense. We have to compensate for that. You should probably add an extra layer of high frequency support to this one.
Yeah.
So that it can match the same intensity and loudness as what's following after. Because right now it's like quiet, loud, and it feels awkward and a little bit empty and not as full as it should be.
Yeah. I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's.
Now we do want it to go back and forth. So a little bit of volume difference is fine, but it's kind of almost too much. It's like muffled bass, open free bass in terms of like frequencies that are playing. So yeah, that's just what I'm hearing right now during the hearing. Vocals are nice. Probably in the drop, you want to do a high shelf, process them a little bit differently in the drop so that they're, cutting through the mix even more when those huge big basses are playing. As you know, we need both of them to be in the spotlight. They are the fun time. They are the good time. Experiment with that. That's for sure. You know. Up next, we have a Drip Battle 15 submission. What is this? Oh, my link was broken. Just go home. Guess I'll catch it next week. VTalk, don't worry, dude. You're in here, dog. You submitted a long time ago, so yours is in here. If it was broken link, you can resubmit it, even though we closed the submissions. That's no problem. You submitted a long time ago, so that's fine, dude. You were thinking ahead. Broken links happen. You know what I'm saying? So we'll put you in here. No worries. All right. Good job, Rage. That was fun. Good energies. Drip Battle 15 is up next. And this is by Wags. Wags, did you update this? What is going on here?
Depression, anxiety, PTSD. Find relief. Hey, you got horse-sized depression? Take a horse-sized medication. Ketamine.
Very nice. Wags submitted a song like this in Drip Battle 15. I'm pretty sure he updated this a lot. Sounds different. Sounds like something I haven't heard yet. So yeah, it's a good time. Lots of energy, lots of emotion, fast movements in this. This is, you know, one of the definitions of EDM. Going crazy. Also, we have really nice balance between mono and stereo. The synths are stereo. We go to mono with our basses. Everything sounds nice and balanced. The synths, though, maybe a little bit too distorted, maybe a little bit too aggressive in the mix. They sound like almost too much. So you probably want to make those sound a little bit more gentle. Like, see, it's kind of gentle here. Not too loud and crazy, but like here, it's like loud. So make sure you adjust those things. And then definitely some dynamic shifts. So see how it's almost like a straight line this whole time? That's an issue. I mean, we're doing drum and bass, so it shouldn't really be looking so clipped out like this. Yeah, you're -3. This is just way too loud, man. So turn this down. Preserve your dynamics. It's so important. When we listen to drum and bass, those waves and the movement and those curves. Oh, the beautiful curvature is what we love. That's what gives us the emotion and the vibes. In a genre like drum and bass, we're not clipping and going crazy like tear out dubstep. It's just different. We need to feel those waves. So turn it down. Don't compress as much. Make things clear and bright without blasting it out the roof. -6 LUFS, -5 LUFS should be like the max that you're wanting to hit. But yeah, man, it's pretty nice. Good job, Wags. Always coming in with something creative, something nice. Up next, we got The Low Lights, a gift from the gods. E minor, 168 beats per minute. Per minute.
Zeus asked me to drop this.
Whoa!
Hey, Herc. Zeus asked me to drop this by. Good luck.
Zeus's lightning sword. Apollo's sword of fire.
A gift from the gods.
Yeah, I'm going to Lost Lands. You guys know what it is, one of them. Good job, E-Spin, winning first place. But I'm about to ride real quick. Yo, Zeus, he got that lightning. About to get that bolt. Oh, so frightening. Bounce. I'm a god. Michael Jackson in the flesh. Oh, wow. You never know, do you know? All right. So, obviously, my channel is an EDM channel, right? So, I'm looking and hoping and recommending people make high energy music, which is called electronic dancing music, if you know what I'm saying. So, this is very empty, very low energy because there's not a vocalist, right? If we have a beat,
A gift from the gods.
like that's just a beat. We're missing a huge section for a lead. The melodics and stuff playing in the background don't act as the lead or the star of the show. They don't have the spotlight.
Gods.
If anything, the thing that has the spotlight is those hi-hats. Okay, so a vocalist has to be on this minimum, right? And it seems like you weren't trying to make a beat because we were like have an intro and almost a build-up. Yeah, definitely a build-up.
A gift from the gods.
So I assume you're not making a beat and you're trying to do hybrid trap, and that's how I'm going to go about this. So very low energy, we need a lead. We need a synth lead. rather than the vocalist using his vocals as the lead. So we're going to keep that in mind. And we also want to think call and response. We need rhythm, structure, flow, movement as much as possible. And then we want to also use our 808 sub and the 808 bass to add flow, add bounce, add groove, and add movement. If that 808 bass is just sustained the whole time, just full blast, we're not going to have these bouncing, fun time groovies. You gotta be groovy.
A gift from the gods.
All right, so we're playing the melodic elements here.
Good luck.
From the gods.
And then you just repeat the same melodic elements here. So we're not surprised when this hits. So because of that, energy super low. Because we already heard it before in the intro, right? Very similar.
Gods.
So you want to start readjusting and not just play the beat, but now make a flow with the beat.
A gift from the gods.
So as soon as this hits, don't just go straight into the juicy details, right? You want to start it off. So it should be like, boom, boom. And then maybe like a fill here to do some silence. So maybe somebody like
the gods.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. So these silences, these fills will add more energy, but then you need a synth lead. So like you won't play and repeat this and make it empty and add something brand new that's playing something very simple. And remember, cut off the subs and start adding silences. We can add more energy as soon as possible.
A gift from the gods.
Cool. And then reference good EDM trap or hybrid trap songs that you love, that you listen to. Bring it into Ableton and analyze how they add movement with their drums and their basses and their synths. And try to emulate that because the pros are doing special tricks to add energy and make people dance. And that's the whole goal. Remember, you built it up. You added a build up to create a lot of tension. And we got to release all that tension that we just built with the drop. And unfortunately, that wasn't done at 100%. So we got to work on that. That's the most important thing. You know what I mean. Low lights, a gift from the gods, E minor 168. We are coming and wrapping to a conclusion. Thank you. Up next, all right, let me to release my tabs. Yeah, try to upload SoundCloud link. I can't download this. Like there's let me try to see if there's a download link actually. Yeah. I need to be able to see the image and the loudness and different things like that. I'll listen. Okay, cool. Mona Lisa. All right. There was a lot of things that needed to be improved in this song. I couldn't take notes on anything though, so I'm probably gonna forget most of it. It's important you submit a SoundCloud link so I can take some notes as I'm listening and really nitpick this thing, because there's a lot of different things here and I can't just remember everything, but I'm going to cover the most important things. So this song is so long. It's 4 minutes and it feels like it's 8 minutes long. The song is not in 130 beats per minute. We're dancing in like, what is half of 130? 65? We're dancing in 65 beats per minute, which is super, super slow. Like most music is not made that slow. I don't think any popular Western music is actually made that slow. But obviously you try to make it at 130. And the only thing that starts to feel like 130 is when we go 4 to the floor here. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're like, we have the ability to dance this fast. But the energy of us dancing this fast is very like almost monotone. It's just like super neutral. The kick is the only thing adding any type of energy to this. And the kick can only do so much. You know, we need the other synths and we need some flow in here to add more energy. These sections are very overextended, very long, and it's hard to listen to this. Our attention spans are short to begin with. And then TikTok has fucked everything up. And now people can't even sit and listen for freaking 15 seconds anymore. So asking someone to listen to this song is a very hard ask because it's just so slow. There's very low energy. We're dancing at such a slow movement. And there's a lot of like, there's a lot of sections that just don't get sped up when they need to be. Remember, this is a drop, so we have to have full high energy at these sections, and it just keeps staying slow. It's almost like we're moving in slow motion, literally. And I don't know. It says electronic at the top, but it sounds like you're trying to make EDM, you know, dance music. Electronic music doesn't have to be fast, but this sounds like you're trying to make some dance music. So we want to speed up the energy for sure. Get things pumping. Get people dancing. That's a good time. That's a fun time. Next we have Spaced Out with Needs vocals, and drop 2 isn't done. Interesting name. Interesting name. What shall we see? What shall we see? you. I see you're blue. I just caught a Mewtwo. What about you? Boo, I have the flu. Sick as fuck with my Pepto-Bismol. Pink as hell, I don't like all my shoes. Buy some new shoes, but I say it's you. Cause they're green, and I don't like that too. Yo, shout out my shoes, shout out all EDC Las Vegas shoes, shout out all hats, shout out all jackets, and shoes. Space out. Okay. Spaced out coming in with need vocals and drop two isn't done. LOL. I gotta say, this. Okay, so if the majority of our song is this, we definitely need there to be a huge focus on the vocals, right? There should be vocals here. The vocals should be the star of the show, undoubtedly. And transitioning your vocals into this will be really important. But we need to make sure people are dancing, right? Future bass was a genre that was really successful at one point. But as you know, like that's not like one of the most poppin' genres anymore. That's just like dripping into hybrid stuff. But it still works. It still exists. And there's artists who can do it. But when they do it, they make sure that we're not dancing in halftime. This is a really common issue, and it happened to me for years where we try to make something in 140, but it turns out to be, gosh dang, 70 beats per minute. Remember, there's no way in hell we can dance to the full BPM right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the speed. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. But I cannot dance that fast to anything in this song. I can't dance this fast. Right? That's not possible with what's playing. This is the only speed I can dance to. Like, trying to force me to dance that fast, it won't work. So we have to like add faster elements, faster synths, different cool techniques to speed up the energy while these super saws are going full blast. Like literally right as soon as the snare hits, it should cut completely and be like a huge dynamic shift. Another one. So that's one way that we'd add more energy, going from super loud to quiet. And then it's like, whoa, then we're adding more movement, right? But just staying sustained like this, it gets slow, repetitive, and energy doesn't increase over time. It decreases over time. Check the lefts here. Cool. All right. So remember, we're playing super saws. This is very melodic, harmonic content. And the whole reason this sounds good is because we're in harmony and the frequencies are vibrating at the same length and they're like stacking on top of each other and it's creating this awesome feeling. And it's like, oh, that's good. But as soon as we start pitching up those beautiful harmonic frequencies, it starts going through the notes that are not in our scale and it becomes dissonant and adds tension and is literally the opposite of what we're creating here. So remember, harmony and then tension. This sounds like a horror movie. We do not want any horror movie, any tense, dissonant vibes to be happening in this beautiful, harmonic, melodic future bass drop. So that's important to remember. Make sure you don't do pitch rises during important sections like that. The pitch rises should be happening maybe in the build-up, and they should be happening to things that don't essentially have so much chords and can mess up the harmonic content. Remember, we have to stay with the scale and in key. So the pitch risers are sensitive and you have to be aware. The transition to this tear out drop is really loud, and for heaven's sake, there's no sub in here. So it sounds extremely harsh and very empty. We got to be very, very careful. There needs to be a sub here. The sub, remember, this is bass music. So the sub literally is and should be 70 to 80% of this shit, man. The shit that we do is all bass music. So if there's no sub, all these frequencies have no support, and it just becomes low energy. Not a fun time. Not a fun time. All right, so yep, get some vocals. Those vocals are super important. It's going to take a lot of time to get vocals to sound good with this. And you want to make sure that the vocalist knows how to sing. If they fucking don't know how to sing, you need to tell them that they don't know how to sing. And you need to explain how, explain when they're out of tune, explain what notes they're going out of tune in, explain to them how auto-tune and Melodyne works and how pitch correcting software works so that we can get them in. And it's going to help a lot because it's hard to sing good, and good vocalists are expensive and don't have a lot of time. And on top of that, whenever you find a good vocalist, you'll fucking put them in the recording booth with the song that we've been practicing, and then they get nervous as hell because the spotlight's on them, and then they stop singing good, and it sucks. So there's a lot of factors that go into making good music and recording vocalists, especially when you're recording people that are supposed to be singing in harmony with the song. So keep all those things in mind. Fun time, good time, you know what time it is. All right. Good job, Spaced Out. I like how you're going a new direction. Up next, we got Herbivore. Totally not done with this yet. LOL, I debated on sending it in or not. Haha. I'm still trying out different sounds. Haha. And different sounds I'm talking about. It's almost there, though. Herbivore, drum and bass. Fucking run it, dude. Shout out to all people on Earth. Shout out to all frequencies that make you vibrate and feel all the good time. And lastly, shout out God. These synthwave vibes are Don't stunt on me like that. Space out. Focus vibes. rolling up the pace. I got all of that, you know my face. Rolling through the. Rolling through the. Shout out my DJs, shout out all my DJs in the booth right now. Producers. Yeah. Put it one time, put it two times, put it three times, the ball. Bounce. Rampage. Yeah. Oh. Shout out drum and bass, shout out drum and bass, shout out drum and bass. That was fun, honestly. There's a lot of energy there. Drum and bass always makes me dance. It's at a fast speed. We're running that shit. Lots of self-focused vibes, you know, like melodic synths, talking. Everything sounded good. It was fun. We had lots of different phrases, but mixing wise, there needs a lot of work here. So like it's -11 in the loudest sections, which is pretty quiet. We should be at least in the single digits for the master. This main synth, so sick, but it's so small, you know, like very thin and weak. It needs to be layered. It needs to be big, cutting through the mix, commanding, demanding, and just fucking ready to go, you know? When you start switching up here, it starts to sound nice and full and good. But these sections don't sound as full. So it's very empty. And the basses are low volume. The sub and the Reese and all the low mids that we have, anything playing there just feels like it doesn't have enough beef. So please add some more beef with it. Compression, saturation, and then layering based on frequency spectrum, lows, mids, highs. That's what you got to do. You can apply the same techniques with your main synths. Overall, though, I really like this. We got through the song, which was almost 4 minutes, quickly, and it felt good. It didn't feel like 4 minutes. It like flew by, and that's really good news. That's a good time. I like it. Good job. Nice melodic elements. Keep working on that. Let me know if you need help. You know what it is and what it ain't. Up next, we got a 6-minute song, Jikazumu, new tear out ID, WIP V3.6 data MP3 by Real Jikazumu Tunes. Fuck, I just said so much words. I don't even know what I said, but we're getting it done. 2 plus 2 is not 22. What is it? What is life? The Drip Chronicles. The one and only. Jesus. Oh, God. Dang, dude. There's a lot going on in this song, and there's amazing journeys and then very harsh, just out of control things going on. So let's go over it all because this is very complex. Lots going on. First off, as soon as it starts, it is freaking magical, amazing, ethereal. I get lost in the sound. It feels so good. It sounds like you're a pro on the piano by the way you're transitioning notes, transitioning chords, adding emotion, speaking, telling a story, creating a journey. You're doing really good. The energy progresses over time beautifully. And the transition from this melodic section to the heavy section is very impressive. This is hard to do. It made me very happy to hear you transition it that professionally, you know? But dang, dude, as soon as we got to the drop, like all this amazing tension and energy that you built up was quickly killed, fortunately. Remember, we just listened to a very melodic, rich piece. So we are kind of expecting there to be similar vibes or at least some type of glue transition from this huge section that we just listened to. Remember, we just listened for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So this next drop should at least somehow link these two sections together. And this is doing really good. This is awesome. And it gets like super empty here for no reason. So we lost a lot of energy right here, just going this empty. And I guess it's not empty. It's like dry. There's no space. There should be like huge atmospheric space so that it feels like we're like in this galaxy, and then we close the galaxy back into dryness when we hit the drop. this song is so loud. It's a brick. There's no dynamics. It's a straight line. It hurts to listen to. It damages your ears. When I was in this fucking section, I couldn't listen to it. I had to literally turn my interface all the way down because it's actively damaging my ears. And you shouldn't be damaging people's ears. You should not be this aggressive. You have to be aware of what you're doing. These frequencies are powerful and important, and we can't hurt people. So set a limit of -3 LUFS, which already is loud. It's already ear damaging. So if you pass -3, it's just irresponsible at that point. And we have to use our free measuring tools to make sure that we're at a regular loudness level. The loudness wars have ended. That's not a thing anymore. So if you want to be loud, -3 is the loudest you should be, for sure. It's disappointing, honestly, because this was such a good song, and the section is just like, remember, you created harmony and peace and like community and connection here. But then you turn it all the way around and create complete horror and tension and dissonance, and you like rip the soul out of the song. And it's sad, honestly, because like at the beginning it's so emotional that you almost want to cry, and then it's like the devil comes and just like blasts it at full blast and starts to like physically hurt you. It's intense, man. It's very emotional what just happened there. You're really good at the piano, really good at your intros and building tension, but you gotta work on these drops, man. Sound design is so important. EQ is so important. Letting these sounds blend together is everything, and making sure that if we're loud, we're also clean. And we also want to preserve dynamics. So when we're zoomed out and it looks like a brick like this and it's a straight line, it's very unnatural. Straight lines don't exist in the universe. They don't exist in nature. There's no such things as straight lines. That's made up. Music and vibrations are waves, and you have to preserve those waves, preserve those dynamics, okay? Be careful. Oh yeah, this is the best part of the section right here. This flow was so sick. This is the only part of the song where the flow is like so fucking sick and sounds like professional, and like lots of sick movement, new sound design. This is really good. Honestly, the first drop should probably sound more like this, because this has a lot more energy and more emotion and more movement than this. It just needs to be turned down, obviously. But yeah, you have some really nice melodic pieces right here. Like all this is lovely. But like I said earlier, when there's something as loud as this, as crazy as this in the song, you start to forget about all this intro stuff, because all this other loud stuff is way more intense, and it just affects you in a different way. So remember, man, it's not just music. This is frequencies that affects your emotions, your vibes, your energy. It's very powerful stuff. So we got to control and manipulate these frequencies strategically and responsibly. Up next is Push I Feel Good Sensei Flip version 3. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Look at the cover art. Oh, this is the cover art. Let's get it. Bucket hat, run it.
Push, 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 push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Yeah, yeah.
When I push, 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 push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push, 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 push. I feel good. When I pull, I feel good. When I push, 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 push. When I push, I feel good. I feel good. When I push, I feel good. When I
That's the Push I Feel Good Flip by Sensei. Alright, cool. This is a good song to flip, man. It's a very popular song. Has a lot of energy. Ends with one of the gods, Skrillex. Right? Is this Hamdi and Skrillex? I forgot. Hamdi? Yeah. Alright, so the original song is like, it's a hit song, right? It's extremely popular for a reason. It's a really good high energy song. So flipping a song like this is like a big task, right? Because you have to at least match the energy of the original or add more energy than the original. And that's hard because the original is really good. So usually when I do flips, I find my favorite artist and I find like the worst song that I don't like from them. And then I flip that so that I can make a better version of a song that I don't like as much, because it's much easier to do that. With this, the highest energy sections and the most movement happens when the original song is playing. During your sections, it's very low energy, and it's almost like an abrupt transition from the intro to the drop. Before you start flipping these popular songs, I would really suggest you start working on making original drops yourself and getting energy levels high and making things sound full. Right now, things sound very empty and there's not a lot of flow, so there's not a lot of energy. Let's go and check it out. All right, so first off, we need there to feel like there's two different sections here. There should be a build-up, a pre-drop, and a drop. 3 different distinct sections. If all 3 sections feel like they're glued together and they're one, we've lost the whole idea of building tension and releasing the energy at the drop. Now they're just kind of like glued together and playing the same thing, so there's not a big energy transition or a climax happening when the drop hits. So here you're playing. That thing is still playing when the drop plays. So the energy is very low because it's like this just keeps repeating and then we're just like randomly adding some sounds to play with it. That's what it sounds like. When really it just be an abrupt transition from this to the drop. And then maybe later on you can sprinkle in the sound again or do something, but we need there to be a transition here into the next section. Also, the sub is very weak and it's not going at the same speed as your basses. Your basses are going bump, 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 bump. But your sub is just doing its own thing, like in the corner. It's like, boom, boom. It's like playing, there's two different rhythms playing, and the sub should be in harmony with your bass so that they're vibrating together at the same speed. And it's way more impactful that way. Obviously, you can sprinkle in some sections with the sustained sub, but you should have both. Right now, because the sub is just sustained, there's not a lot to dance to. It's like lower energy, slower energy. And also the main lead, it's just high frequency. It's like a high frequency layer. And then there's sub. So we're like missing everything in the middle, all the low, mid, grunge. Those frequencies are super important. And if you are just completely missing those frequencies from your mix, it's an issue. And it'll sound empty. And it'll sound not full, low energy because of that. So I think that's about it. Make the sub big, get more energy. Oh yeah, and during the house, you gotta make sure there's a groovy bass line. Use more silence. The kick isn't what's speeding this up and making things sound cool. The bass line and everything that's happening around the kick is what adds the groove and the movement. So this sounds pretty generic with the synth playing and very low energy because there's not any groove or movement really happening here. It's just a vocal looping. Okay, so we're gonna be looping stuff, but you gotta loop it with a groove. Loop it with steez and finesse. Good job though. Good job, good job, good job. That's a good song to flip, you know what I'm saying. Up next, and last but not least, is V-Talk. He submitted a broken link, so now we're gonna fix his and finish it off. Let's get it.
Been in love too many times. Been a slave of my desires. Won't lie, won't lie, won't lie, won't lie. Thought my heart would catch on fire. Swimming in a pool of lies. Won't cry, won't cry, won't cry, won't cry. Then you came around, kept me safe and sound. I never knew what love can do. It's all in your eyes, like a clear blue skies. I know it's true. This time it's true. You hold me on the side of the road. Draw me in on your love. Never let me go. When you hold me on the side of the road, draw me in on your love. Never let me go. Trying to keep my eyes wide open. Only so my demons burn. Won't lie, won't lie,
Nice.
won't lie, won't lie.
You're welcome, Sensei.
Thought there's nothing left to fight for. 'Cause I've been broken to the core.
Your
Won't
triggers are
cry,
low.
won't cry, won't cry, won't cry. Then you came around, kept me safe and sound. I never knew what love can do. It's all in your eyes, like a clear blue skies. I know it's true. This time it's true. When you hold me on the side of the road, draw me in on your love. Never let
boys for coming out. Drive home safe. Man, that felt EDM-y as... Man, I'm feeling them EDM vibes, progressive house vibes, EDC vibes. This is... I fucking love EDM, man. I love dance music. These feelings, this harmony and emotion feels really good. And it really reminds me of Community and Plur and all the good stuff that really has built EDM into the mainstream shit that it is today. Great job on the chords, good job on the vocals. It kind of sounded a little off in the beginning, maybe, but I thought it was like out of tune for a little bit, but everything sounded fine. The vocals, though, are very quiet compared to everything else. If we listen to how loud the vocals are in comparison to the synth lead, you can kind of tell that they're not loud enough. So that this sound like that's louder than your vocals. You gotta compress those vocals, pull up and pull out all those frequencies, and use an EQA, high shelves. Make sure those high frequencies are loud and bright and sitting on top of the mix, cutting through. The snare has more highs than anything else in the mix, which is a problem. So like our main melodic elements aren't as bright and as clear as they should be. So use EQ, high shelves on those melodic elements as well. We're at -4 left. So we're kind of reaching the peak of being loud. So you got to not layer so much, but check your space. Make sure that you're not drowning stuff in reverb. Use reverb in parallel so you can keep the mono and add the reverb. And then, for heaven's sakes, in these sections, we need lots of lows. The sub is really weak. Low volume. Sub really should be fat and beefy with those chords, playing the bass notes, the root notes. Remember, we're at the club or the festival, there's 10 subwoofers lined up in a row, maybe 1 billion. And we need the people to feel those low frequencies, feel the sub, get lost in the sound in all sections. And I think that's about it. That's a really great song to end off with. Good emotion, good harmony, really EDM vibes. I love it. Thank you for submitting. Thank all you guys for submitting. I really appreciate it. Remember to submit your track for next week's stream. I will be moving to a new state here soon, so I'm going to reorganize these streams time-wise and have some votes and some polls to see what's good and what is not good. And we'll see what time we should have these streams at. But anyways, thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for showing up. Lots of great tracks. Hit me up with any questions in Discord or Instagram if you have any questions about the feedback that I gave you today. And like and subscribe to my channel. And hit me up if you need a 1v1 lesson. I do them basically every day. And I love to help. So keep it real. Stay fresh and keep on making them bangers. Peace out, family. Keep it real. Later.